on the website later. And I would also like to, let me go ahead and, before I share the presentation, I would like to welcome our two wonderful translators or interpreters who are here with us this evening, as they always are. I will start with Anna Arzumanian, who is here to translate for us. Anna, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Rebecca. Բարի երեկո, ես Անա Արզումանյանն եմ, մեր շրջանի հայոց եւ ռուսաց լեզուների թարգմանիչը։ Այսօր մեր անցումային մանկապարտեզի TK եւ մանկապարտեզի տեղեկատու ժողովն է եւ այսօր հաղորդումը վարում է մեր տարական բաժնի վարիչը տիկին Ռեբեկա Հարիսը։ Ունենք նաև այլ աշխատակիցներ, որոնք կներկայացնեն ներկայացման տարբեր մասերը, բայց եթե հարցեր ունեք, կարող եք գրել chat բաժնում։ Ինչպես նաև իմ խոսքից հետո, ինչպես նաև իսպաներեն թարգմանչի խոսքից հետո մենք կմտնենք թարգմանության սենյակ։ Թարգմանության սենյակ մտնելու համար ձեր էկրաններին ընտրեք գլոբուսի նշանը, իսկ եթե չեք տեսնում գլոբուսը, սեղմեք այս 3 կոճակ more որ գրված է եւ ընտրեք թարգմանությունը հայերեն հայոց լեզուն եւ կմտնեք թարգմանության սենյակ եւ այս ամենը կլսեք հայոց լեզվով։ Շատ հաճելի կլինի, եթե չաթի մեջ գրեք, եթե իմ սենյակում եք եւ ինձ լսում եք։ Շնորհակալություն ներկա գտնվելու համար, բարի վայելում։ Back to you, Rebecca.
Thank you so much. That was a beautiful introduction. And now I'm going to introduce our second wonderful interpreter here tonight, Nuria Lundberg, here for Spanish.
Thank you, Rebecca, for your kind words. Buenas noches a todos. Yo voy a ser su intérprete del idioma español esta noche. Y bueno, hay lo que nos dijo nuestra mediadora, la señorita Harris. Dice que le encanta ver algunas caras conocidas y siempre le hace muy feliz. Y simplemente quiere informarles que también esta reunión va a ser grabada para que ustedes puedan tener acceso más adelante. Y bueno, la manera en que pueden acceder al canal del idioma español, busquen el globo gris en la parte inferior de su pantalla, está hasta la derecha. O bien, si no aparece ese globo, son los 3 puntitos. Y ahí presionan y buscan el idioma español. Asimismo, una vez que nosotros estemos en la sala o en nuestro canal, ya no vamos a tener acceso como lo estamos haciendo ahora. Entonces, si ustedes pudieran de favor poner en el chat si escuchan bien o si pudieron acceder o si no están entendiendo algo, también pongan sus preguntas ahí en ese chat. Y ahí les vamos a responder en la mejor manera posible. Y bueno, sin más por el momento, yo espero que les guste mi interpretación y bueno, disfruten y para conocer lo que es estar en este maravilloso distrito.
Thank you so much for the introduction. And that being said, we are going to go ahead and open our translation rooms. Dr. Anders, are you going to help me with that?
The translation rooms are open.
So just a couple of more pieces before I share our slide presentation. First of all, we have so many representatives from our wonderful school district here tonight. I won't call out too many names, but I see board members, I see Assistant Superintendent Dr. Knapik, and a lot of our directors, members from cabinets, and administrators. So thank you all for joining in this wonderful meeting tonight. And the last housekeeping piece I'll say, I know it was said for the other languages, but for English, if you have questions throughout the meeting, please feel free to place them in the chat, particularly general questions, and our team will be monitoring the chat to try to answer the questions as we go. I do ask you that if you have individualized questions, please, depending on the question, please feel free to either reach out to Student Services directly or even the school site that you are intending to attend later for those individualized questions. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and share the slide presentation that we have for you tonight. Okay. I lost you on my screen. Are you able to see the screen? Okay. Okay, let me try one more time. Oh, it says that I am unable to share.
Becca, I'm going to make you host again.
Thank you.
Yep. There you go.
Okay, let me try. Are you now able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So welcome to the start of an amazing journey. It is such an exciting time to be talking about starting TK or kindergarten with your child. So again, we thank you very much for being here tonight. So tonight we're going to talk about different things to think about in preparing as you prepare for TK or kindergarten, both academically and any logistics that you might need to think about. And this first slide talks about what you can do for your child emotionally. And I should probably say, because there is quite a bit of text on a lot of these slides, but these slides, as well as the recorded presentation, will be posted on the website, our district website, following this presentation. So you can always go back and review. But
Dr. Harris, could you move to presentation mode?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Slide?
Oh, I'm not sharing the screen that I thought that I was. Okay, let's try this. Okay, I apologize. Hold on one second. Okay, now what do you say?
Right now, we just see all the people. We don't see your
Nothing yet, Rebecca.
Ah, oh my goodness gracious. I apologize, everyone.
We're not going anywhere.
No, thank you. Every time you think you have it. Okay, let's try this. Now, do you see the slideshow mode?
We see it. It's still, we're not seeing the presentations
Okay, so it's,
portion.
I don't know, perhaps Robin, you can share it for me or somebody. I have two different views on my computer and I can't adapt it.
Try clicking Use Presenter View under Monitors in the middle at the top.
In the PowerPoint presentation, I see it.
Yep.
Got
Yep.
it. Got it. Got it.
And then click from beginning again. And then I should see resume slideshow. There's a separate dialog. Otherwise, this will work if you want to just increase the size of the slide.
I'm going to try one more time. I'll make this all up to all of you. Okay, so let's try it one more time. I'm going to go like this.
Go ahead and start the slideshow before you share your screen.
Before? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's why it's getting confused.
I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, we can still see the slides, so
Okay.
it would
I'll
work.
make it a little bigger.
Yep.
Oh, not that big. How is that? Is that okay?
This will work.
Okay. All right. All right. So emotionally supporting your child, this is a really important thing, and we understand kids come from all different types of backgrounds. When they come, some have been to preschool, some have not, but please do as much as you can between now and the start of the school year to make sure that your kids have been exposed to a lot of playtime, interacting with other students. That, of course, is important. It's a big part of kids coming to school. And I wanted to make sure that you know about a couple of events that are opportunities for you to actually visit your child's potential future school. And one is that schools host tours that will be advertised on the district website, or you can always call the school to find out information about those tours, and also attending open house at your school. So the elementary open house attendance dates are on April 30th, and that is something that incoming and potential new families are welcome to attend. And the last thing I'll say on this slide is it is very important. A big part of going to school is the routines that your child will have at school, a schedule, different subjects, different things that happen at different times. So please encourage and practice those routines at home to get your child ready for school. Academically, and this is probably always my favorite slide, this slide talks about different things that you can do, but one of them I'll say is this first bullet point. Please read with your child every single day. Before school starts, once school starts, that's one of the best things that you can do to help your child get ready for school. And there are a lot of other ideas listed here, including visiting the library, providing opportunities to say their first and last name. That will be very important for when they go to school. Think of when they do things like walking through the lunch line, things like that. Does your child know their first and last name? Here are some other skills that you can help your child to master. And again, not all of these things need to be mastered before you start school, but if you do have an interest in practicing, we just wanted to provide some ideas for you. So understanding sizes like big, small, and opposites are a big part of both transitional kindergarten and kindergarten. Also, as I'm sure you can imagine, colors, shapes, and numbers, and counting, all of those things. And lastly, the last bullet point on this slide is about kindergarten words that would be helpful to know. And again, not to master, but you should feel free to familiarize yourself or your child with those words before the school year starts. And these words, you'll see that there's a hyperlink in the slide, and these are words that you will be able to click on this link once we post this on our website to see that list. Here we also have a sample TK and kindergarten schedule. This is something that might vary or will vary by school, especially when the different subjects happen during the day, but this is a general idea of what kids do at different times. Two things to highlight is that kids in all grade levels at the elementary level basically have recess or some sort of playtime twice a day, as well as a lunch break. So one recess is totally on its own, and the other one is connected to the lunchtime. So they do get nice incremental breaks throughout the school day. And we get into some other skills. Language arts is one of the main topics, and again, that relates to reading and writing. And one of the main skills that runs across this whole page is something that we call print awareness. And I will tell you, if your child comes to school understanding that when you open a book or when you read words in a book, that print has meaning, that would be a huge benefit or help for your child. And a lot of things are listed here. So that print awareness includes understanding that words go from left to right, or that the words on a page go from top to bottom, or what it means when you turn the page of a book. All those things are things that we focus on in TK and kindergarten. some math skills, and this is separated into sections that are actually how the math standards are organized by grade levels, starting in TK and going all the way up through at least 5th grade. But of course, kids focus on different skills every year. So this particular page identifies some skills that you could work on with your child to get ready for school. And again, you'll see things like counting. They do a lot of work in TK and kindergarten with counting different objects. Teachers may have different plastic objects of some sort, and they may practice counting them. They may practice sorting items by colors. All those things are things that are beneficial to kids. And in science standards, again, are organized by many different categories. But I will say this with my teacher hat on. We all know the things that kids tend to be interested in, right? They're often interested in plants, animals, sometimes rocks if they have a rock collection. And what I would encourage you to do is, if you know that your child is interested in one of those things, spend time exposing your child to those different things, going to the library, studying them, watching videos about those things, so that when he or she hears about it in school, that'll be something that brings out that engagement. In social science, or sometimes called social studies, when kids come to school, they spend a lot of time talking about being citizens of the world, being citizens in their school, being a part of their family. They look at different symbols in school, like flags, and what a state means, what it means to live in a city. These are all skills that they will be talking about in TK and Kinder. Now, here are some very, very important things that you'll need to know, and I know you'll remember this later, but some things that will be helpful before that first day of school. First of all, families, parents, please label everything. Every jacket, every little container, every lunch bag that they bring to school. Label them, because those things do often tend to get lost between the time they leave the classroom and go to lunch or go to the playground. So the more things that are more things are labeled, the more likely you will be able to get those things back. And then there's also some guidance. It's not a rule, but some guidance or suggestions on this page about backpacks. You want to make sure that those backpacks are large enough to hold, like a traditional school folder. I would say it's pretty common for our teachers who teach the little ones to use some sort of folder where maybe they send home weekly papers, or maybe papers every day for perhaps a little homework, or perhaps something that they want to communicate to you.
Okay, good. I just cooked it too long.
Okay, our next slide is about student safety, which is important to all of us. Schools have different practices, and you'll learn this once you start at your new school site, but schools have different practices about student safety and different ways of doing drop-off and pickup. A lot of our schools, if not all of them, have some sort of valet system for drop-off, but for TK and kindergarten, it's often going to be a separate gate where you walk up to the gate with your child to drop off. But those are very school-specific things that you will learn as we come closer to the start of school. Also, it is very important to know that all of our gates on our campuses are closed during instructional hours and not to be left open without somebody standing there. If you wish to volunteer, we do welcome and encourage our parents and guardians to volunteer at school, and there's a clearance process for that does involve TB testing. And the last thing as far as safety for this slide is that visitors at any of our schools in Burbank or any school district have to sign in and sign out at the office. So anytime you would enter a school campus, you would check in with the office first. And now we are on to you, Miss Lauren.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Dieter. I work in student services.
No.
We go over some of the basic information that you need to know for enrollment. So entrance ages for the 26-27 school year are listed here on the slide. These are hard dates. So if your child's birthday is just a couple days past the cutoff, it's past the cutoff. So at Burbank Unified, we enroll by age. So children for TK must turn 4 years old on or before September 1st, 2026. To start kindergarten, they must turn 5 on or before September 1st. Wait a second. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. 5 years old on or before September 1st, 2026. And to start first grade, they must turn 6 years old on or before September 1st, 2026. And then Rebecca, if you can move to the next slide. Thank you. Online registration begins next Tuesday. Monday's a holiday for us, so Tuesday is when it will start. You will do your enrollment at burbankusd.org. Right now on the main front page, there's a giant photo at the top. Just below it is a quick link, a little icon that has a pencil that says 2627 enrollment for Burbank residents. That is where you will go to our student services page that has all the information that you need, with a list of documents that are required, the link to take you to the application, etc. So for all enrollment, but we'll start here for TK and kindergarten, you start with online enrollment, online registration. Once you finish that, you will contact your school of residence to make an appointment to go in and finalize enrollment. You'll need to take the original documents with you. You'll be uploading them into the system, and then you'll also take them with you to your appointment. For parents who would like their kids to go to a school other than their school of residence, you can apply. If you live in Burbank, you can apply for an intra-district permit. Intra-district permits are for parents who live in Burbank and choose they want to go to another school for any particular reason. You will apply online starting February 9th through March 13th. And the application is a Google form. It's pretty simple, just some basic information that I need. Intra-district permits are approved based on space available at the desired school, and it varies by grade level. So we look at grade level, space availability, and school at each school. If necessary, it is done by lottery. And children who are in TK at a school currently right now and moving to kindergarten, and students who have a sibling attending the desired school may be in a priority lottery. So that, I think I saw some questions about that. You must be enrolled at your school of residence to fill out the intra-district application. And I actually go through and double check. So make sure that you have enrolled at your home school if you're interested in applying for that. Inter-district permits are for families who live outside of Burbank but would like their children to come to school here. A parent or guardian must work in Burbank 10 plus hours per week, Monday through Friday, to be eligible. And you can either work at a business in Burbank or own a business in Burbank. There's more information on our website, but the applications for the 26-27 school year will open March 9th. Both of these applications and links will go live on the specified day at about 8 o'clock. We turn them on when we get into the office. Okay, ready for the next one.
I heard you. I'm having clicking.
Okay.
There we go.
Lights shining in your face, is it?
Okay. So items required for enrollment.
I don't know about you two, but I'm tired.
Rebecca, could you mute
I'm
that for
starting to
me?
really get what your Aunt May said about how important sleep is.
Thanks. Sorry, I get distracted easily. Okay, items required for enrollment. You will need your Burbank water and power bill and your SoCal gas bill or a landline telephone bill. They need to be current. So if you're enrolling in January, it needs to be a January bill. You will need proof of age, birth certificate. If you do not have a birth certificate, you can provide a passport or an official school transcript if the child's not in TK, has already been in school in California. A hospital or baptismal certificate will be accepted for 45 days while you order an original county issued birth certificate. Complete immunization record is required, and we'll go into this a little more in detail a little bit later, but you can use either a yellow card from your doctor that's signed and stamped, a printout from the doctor's office, etc., but it needs to be an official immunization record. A new additional requirement this year in the County of Los Angeles is a TB risk assessment form signed by your medical provider. So that is new. It does not mean that your child will necessarily have to have a TB test. We just need the risk assessment form to be filled out and signed by your medical provider or doctor. There is a link here. Once I put these on the website, there'll be a link there. There's a link on the 26-27 enrollment page so you can see what the form is, print it out, and take it with you to your next doctor's appointment. And then we'll also need the parent ID. All paperwork must be complete and approved at your school site. So approved in a meeting at the school office to be considered a complete enrollment. So just enrolling online is not a final complete enrollment. And I just want to make sure everyone knows that. It's not final and it's not complete until you've gone into the school and presented the original documents and the school office staff tells you, okay, you're good. You're enrolled. Okay, ready for the next one. Lenora, I think this one is for you. Are you there?
Yes.
Do you want to talk about this?
Are you here, Lenora? Hi, Lenora.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Lenora Aguilera. I'm the lead school nurse for Burbank Unified School District, and this is always a very, very exciting time of year when we get to speak to new families or returning families to our district. In the state of California, there are immunizations that are required for students to attend school. These are not Burbank Unified School District requirements. These are state requirements, and we are asked to make sure that at the time that all of the enrollment paperwork is submitted, that the immunizations are as current as possible and that immunization requirements are met. These immunization requirements are for students 4 years old and older. And I say that because oftentimes parents will say, well, my child is not yet 5, but these immunization requirements actually are for children 4 years old and older. If you have any questions or concerns, if your child has met their immunization requirements, I am going to add my email and you can send them to me and I will be glad to review those immunizations and get back to you in regards to whether or not your child has met all the immunization requirements. In regard to the TB risk assessment, this is a document that is completed by, I know this is not very clear, but this is what it looks like. It is to be completed by your child's medical provider. It is not a TB test. It is a TB risk assessment. Your child's provider will be able to see your child, see if they have any identified risk factors. If they do not have any risk factors, then your child's primary doctor would be able to simply complete this and provide that to you. If, for example, for some reason you have already completed one of these in the past year, we will gladly accept those. Unlike the immunizations that are absolutely necessary to complete the enrollment, a TB risk assessment, should you need additional time to have your provider complete that for your child, they have up to 90 days to have that completed. So you would be able to provide that. That would not hold up your child's completing the registration process. Are there any questions? I will be looking at the chat and I will make sure that I try to address as many questions as possible, and I will include my email. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lenora, for being here and for presenting. And thank you, Lauren. The next part, we are going to talk about something called the Home Language Survey. And the Home Language Survey is an important part of the enrollment process. I would encourage you to read this part separately on your own afterwards if you have any questions. But this tells you a little bit about the process. The school office will email a family a home language survey which must be completed and returned to the school. And what I really want you to know is why we do the home language survey at public schools. And I will read this part to you. It's to best support our students, we must determine the language spoken in each student's home. Once the home language is determined, using the home language survey, we assess the student's language proficiency in English. So based on those assessment results, we provide the instructional programs and services that students need. And that is what I cannot emphasize enough. The whole purpose of doing the home language survey and the importance of having it be accurate is because it helps us as educators understand how to support your students in the development of English skills over time. And this slide goes into a little bit more specifics of the survey. So it will ask you, what language did your child first begin to speak? Which languages does your child speak most frequently at home? Not a little bit, but most frequently. And then which languages do you, the parents or guardians, speak most frequently when speaking with your child? And then what language or languages are spoken between the adults in your home? Now, one of the things to know about this note at the bottom of the page is that if you are applying to the Spanish Dual Immersion Program and you want your child to be assessed either as a native speaker of Spanish or as a native speaker of Spanish, it is important that Spanish is listed on the home language survey. And for more questions about dual immersion, that meeting will be taking place a week from tonight at 6 p.m. Back to you, Lauren.
Thank you. Okay, if your school of residence is capped, that's what we call it when a school reaches capacity. So different grade levels and different schools reach capacity at different times. If your school of residence reaches capacity in the grade level you're enrolling, we will, I manage this, we will offer you the closest schools that have space for your child. Most often when doing enrollment, you will hopefully have a couple choices so that you can pick what works best for your family. And then I will add your child to a capped waiting list. This waiting list is only for students who are capped out of their homeschool. It's not a waiting list for kids or parents who just want their kids to go to a different school. That's something different. That would be the intra-district permit. So our best advice is to enroll early, on time, and early in the process. Also, please make sure that your child's immunizations are up to date and they are as current as they can be, as Lenora stated. The immunizations must be complete at enrollment. I think I saw that question in the chat. It is not by the time school starts, it is at enrollment. So there is actually something else I'm going to talk about in another slide for my parents who have 3-year-olds right now. And it will only apply to my parents with 3-year-olds. So when we get to that, get ready because it'll be for you. Okay, and I saw this question for sure, so I'll go over this. School capacity. TK capacity is 20 students to 1 teacher. There is also an aide in a TK classroom as well. Kindergarten through 3rd grade classroom capacity is 24 students to 1 teacher, and grades 4 through 5 classroom capacity is 32.5 students to 1 teacher. Like I said before, all paperwork must be completed to be enrolled. Just submitting online is not a complete and final enrollment. I think we actually kind of already talked about all this. Oh, if a space becomes open at your school of residence and I have you on the capped list, I will call you. I will call you as soon as I can because we're going to be so happy to celebrate together that a space has finally opened if you've been waiting for a while or even for a short time. I love celebrating that we get to clear the list and people get to be where they want to be. And if you do not answer me, I will follow up. I won't just skip over you, just so you know. I take it very seriously, and I want to make sure everyone is where they want to be as soon as they can be.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Here we have our school site locations, which are posted on the slide, posted on our website in general and on Google, but just in case you're wondering where the schools are, these are our 11 schools located throughout Burbank. And we said this a little bit earlier, but if you would like to learn more about the specifics of each school, the best ways to do that right now are through the tours, which schools have advertised in different ways, usually on their website. You are also welcome to call a local school office to find out, ask about when their tours are available. I do know that our elementary schools have started those. And also elementary schools host kinder site orientations either in the spring or summer. They have different systems that are unique to the school site. I believe we have our Director of Child Development here with us, Ms. Laura Flossie, to talk a little bit about aftercare.
Hello. Yes, well, we have a few after and some before cares. So let's start with Around the Bell since that slide is up. This program is run by our school district. It is at all 11 of our elementary sites, and this offers both before school and after school care. So once you have enrolled your child in school, then you may enroll them into the Around the Bell program. We start a wait list, and once we see capacity of students that might be graduating or moving on and space available, we'll start filling the classroom. So we won't know that the day you enroll, but we'll get you in the list in the order that you come in and at the school that you're enrolled in, and we will start making placements within the next month or so. But this will start on January 20th. But you can only enroll for Around the Bell at the school where your child will be enrolled. If you do end up changing schools or get a permit somewhere else, call our office and we'll be happy to help you out with that. Next slide. So 2 other things that offer daycare after school and some before. If you call our school our child care office, we can let you know who, what, where, why, and when, and which we offer at each site. After school days is at most of our sites. It's run by the City of Burbank, the Parks and Rec Department. They are an after school only program, and they typically start at 1st grade because the early out for TK and kinder, we don't have space for them at that time. But call us, let's see what we've got. And then Boys and Girls Club is at most of our sites. Some places they have morning care and after care. Some they only are offering the after school care. But for both of those, you can call our child development office or you can call the City of Burbank or Boys and Girls Club directly because you would enroll through them, but we can get you lots of information in our office about where they are and what their hours are. Do I have another slide or is that it?
I think think that's it. Thank you so much.
And I'll just so through Boys and Girls Club, we also have an ACEs program, and that is at 3 of our elementary schools. That is after school only. What school it's out for 1st through 5th graders. And if you would like information on that, again, call our office, email us, call, and we will be happy to give you all the information, what you need for the school you'll be enrolling in. I just see a question that is there priority for siblings? Yes, we can, if you want to call the office, we can talk about that. If you have a child already in the program, it'll also be on space available. So we'll be happy to talk to you about that if you have a child in. And yes, ATB takes all grade levels, PK through 5th, at all of our sites.
This next slide, and I'm not sure if Dr. Anders is present, but this slide talks about free and reduced lunch, and it says that your child may be eligible to receive free or reduced price meals at Burbank Unified School District based on your gross income. I will say, though, that now for several years in the state of California, we have been providing free lunch meals to all students. However, I don't know if Dr. Anders would like to add any comments without me having asked him earlier about these applications.
Thank you, Dr. Harris.
Yes.
I'd just like to promote completing this application. It's more than a meal. We receive funding for our schools through our LCAP supplemental funding based on the number of students who qualify. Free and reduced. That also provides opportunities for families to get reduced internet prices at home. And it also increases specific schools' income or funding through Title I and other state and federal programs. So it's a lot more than just the meal, and we encourage all families to complete the application or income survey.
Thank you so much. And I'm very proud to discuss this slide. This slide is about our parent education that we have available in Burbank at our very own Burbank Adult School, which, if you have not heard, throughout the community is just doing amazing things for parents and otherwise. But one thing that they do have available are parent and child classes, parent education classes, for children from infants through 4 years old, and they also have parent education sessions. So I would encourage you, if you have any questions about what they offer at the Adult Center, maybe even for yourself, you can call the phone number that is listed here on the slide. Also, I'm sure if you're a resident, you receive the mailers that come in our postal mail, or to look online. And our last slide, this is the one that you might want to take a quick picture of it. I know we have the art green lines going across the screen, but there it is. So these are the numbers. You'll want to know who to contact for what. So I'm Rebecca Harris. Again, I'm the director of the elementary schools. So I work very closely with all of our elementary schools, and in particular with our principals. Then we have Laura Flossie, who just spoke with you, our director of child care programs. So all questions related to child care would go to her office. We have our special ed team, and some of the people who support our special education team are listed here on the slide. We have Narine Barzagar, you're still here on the screen, our director of student services, and also the phone number for our food services is listed here. A couple of things I'll add is that Lauren Dieter, who has spoken to you quite a bit this evening, there she is.
I actually have something to add.
Yeah, she works very closely with student services and with Narne, and so does Lenora Aguilera, who disappeared off my screen, who is our district nurse. Please go ahead, Lauren. Hi there.
Okay, we accidentally skipped over one of my slides. That's actually pretty important. I didn't even notice. Slide number 17.
I'm just clicking away. Here, let's go back to it.
let's clickety click right back over there. I just want to go over.
Oh, yes.
This one's important. Sorry, everyone. I didn't even notice we skipped it. Okay, so this is for a very specific group of people, which I talked about. This is for my parents who have 3-year-olds right now. So if your child is 4, they must be up to date on their immunizations. If your child is 3, they are not yet old enough to get those immunizations until they turn 4. So for my 3-year-old parents. That is going to be students born between January 20th and September 1st. You will have a 2-week buffer. You'll have a 2-week period where they must have their immunizations, their 4-year immunizations, and they must be turned into the school office within 2 weeks after their birthday. So when you go to enroll, you are going to sign a contract saying that you understand that they must have those immunizations within 2 weeks after their birthday. You are going to sign that you understand that they will lose their placement if you do not turn that in within 2 weeks of their birthday. So the form will be given to you at your appointment in the school office. You can read through it, see what it says, but basically it is you must turn in that proof within 2 weeks. If not, they will lose their spot, and they will be, once you bring them in, then they will go back to the line to be placed, and you may lose the spot at your home school. It is possible. It has happened. So please pay attention to that. Pay attention to the date. The school will write down what that date is, put it in your calendar. It's really important, and we do stick to it. Okay. If you have questions, call me or email me. I'm happy to talk it through with you if you need me to.
Lauren, I would like to add that I would suggest that, like I said, people can email me, because if even a child is 3 years old and they are very behind on their immunizations for a variety of reasons, we would need to review all of that information to make sure that they are going to be how far behind they may be. So again, please feel free to email me so I can review those immunizations if parents have any questions.
Anything else that any of our presenters wanted to add?
I saw a few people asking the same questions about the TB clearance. If the child is already enrolled in TK going to kindergarten. So I thought we should just respond to that here instead of the chat, because a few people were asking the same thing. So Ms. Aguilera, I'll let you respond to that.
The requirement is for all newly enrolling students. So if your child is already enrolled in school, no, this requirement would not be for them. This is as of January of this year. So this is all newly enrolling students to our district and all of Los Angeles County, regardless of grade.
Do we have any other representatives from our team here who see any trending questions in the chat that you would like to answer?
A few people asked about needing to re-enroll if they're already enrolled in TK. If your child is already in a TK program, you do not need to re-enroll for kindergarten. That was asked a few times. Some of the other specific questions that came up were around enrollment and like special cases. For example, if they just moved and they don't have a bill yet, would the pink paper from Burbank Water suffice? Or what about if your bill is paid by your landlord? So those are the types of questions that you can direct to student services, and we did respond to it in the chat, but a couple of people may have asked the same thing. So if you have very specific questions about how your bills are, whose name the bills are coming under, or things like that, you can direct those types of questions to student services, and we will happily help you out.
And that being said, I would just like to thank everyone who is here tonight, all of you community members, our parents, families, and children, our district staff, our school staff who took the time on this evening to be here, and perhaps most importantly, our interpreters for making this presentation accessible to a broader base. That's just so important. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I want to apologize for the technical delays at the beginning. I struggle with my double screens every single time. So because of that, I'm going to ask if any of our members from our district team are able to stay on for just a couple of minutes in case somebody has a general question that they would like to ask. We can keep the Zoom open for just a couple minutes or perhaps look at the chat. Other than that, I would like to thank everyone so much and wish you all a beautiful evening.
Thank you, everybody. Good to see you.
Do I need to wait for my child's IEP to determine which school to enroll him?
Are you a new enrollment to the district, and you are just bringing in an IEP, or did you reach out to the SPED department for a new assessment?
He currently attends Horace Mann. So we're going to have his IEP meeting on the 22nd of this month.
The special education department does work with our student services team. So connect with our department to make sure that we have the proper documents that we need. However, if you're already enrolled in Horace Mann, I believe, no, I'm seeing Ms. Dieter saying no. You would need to still connect with our department, but the special education department does work with student services on the placement piece. They will look at your home school first, and if there is a special program a child needs, then they would work with us on that placement.
But you can go ahead, I'll just butt in. You can go ahead and do your enrollment because even though they're enrolled at SEED, we still consider moving to TK or kinder a new enrollment. So your Horace Mann enrollment doesn't roll. So you will need to go ahead and do that. So you can do that on January 20th. You said your meeting is the 22nd. So that's quick. Yeah. That's right away. But anyone else who is enrolled at SEED, please know that you must enroll like a new student, just like everyone else, even if you are at SEED.
Okay, thank you.
When is the first day of school?
Can I pause for 1 second? Should we stop recording so that the personal questions don't end up in our posted version of the recording?
I will stop the recording.